I think that's one level of people that
Oh
struggle in
yeah.
relationships. They don't realize that the their other person's receiving that as, I don't really have time to engage with you right now. What I'm doing
Right.
is more important. This poor Scott comes in. He's working on the hot tub again, and his little hot tub is like means so much to him.
Uh,
And he'd set up this thing to put in the oven. It was in the fridge, and he'd forgotten about it. And I'm like, oh, he's gonna be bummed when this thing isn't cooked later. So I told him, I'll take, I'll throw your thing in the oven. So I put it in, and then I go out and talk to him. Gotta come in and tell me what's next. So he comes in, he's looking at his phone, he's looking it up,
yeah.
at the notes, and he's like this, 375. Yeah. So you leave it there for an hour, and then you take the foil off of it, and you leave it at whatever temperature for like 5 minutes. And he goes to walk out the door. And I'm like, yo, 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 what did you say?
Yeah.
He goes, well, you told me you would cook it for me. I'm like, yes, I did. But you can still come in, all in his head about the hot tub, and
Yeah.
look at me and say, could you please do it this way and this thing? I go, let me hear it. He goes, could you please da da da? I'm like, yeah, I'd be glad to.
Right.
He's just like, oh, walks out the door. This is 32 years later. I'm like, yep, let's not forget. He's like, oh God, she never lets me skate by without like, look at my face. What are
Yeah.
you saying right now? Even that would be funny to talk about on our podcast. Like, do you walk
Right.
through the room and address your spouse or your significant other
Mhm.
as you're walking by? Because you're so familiar, that's such a
Right.
normal, familiar thing to do.
Yes.
Take
Yes.
a moment to turn and look directly at that person and catch
Hmm.
their attention
Hmm.
and share or ask or whatever.
Yeah.
We become so, just used to. It doesn't mean anybody doesn't love anybody just as much, but you just become so used to being around somebody all the time. It's
Right.
really important to remember that connection building little moments all the time that you
Hmm.
can work on. And that those things really do drive people apart. I think that's one level of people that
Oh
struggle in
yeah.
relationships. They don't realize that their other person's receiving that as, I don't really have time to engage with you right now. What I'm doing
Right.
is more important. My friend Molly yelled at her dad once when she was 5 because he was
Hmm.
watching a hockey game and she stood in front of the TV and was trying
Hmm.
to talk to him and he was like this. And she's like, I'm more important than your hockey game. I'm like, right on, you're only 5.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yep.
maybe that's something to talk about too.
Oh yeah. Oh definitely.
Those
I,
things.
I was I was sitting there talking about, how we get into these regular family things, right? We get into just like you mentioned right there with the girl is basically, you know, they're a kid, they don't have any opinions, they don't have anything that's really relevant to me. And
Mm,
to a kid, that's horrible, right?
terrible.
You're not teaching your kid anything. You're basically ignoring your kid and
Yeah.
saying, you're bothering me, kid," and
Yeah.
that doesn't include them. That doesn't do anything. I was thinking about the marbles in a jar thing. Um, there was an author that went through and talked about how you have, um, if you think of a collection and you think of all the little positive things that people have done for you, and you think of those as little marbles that you put into a jar, you think of all the things that you give to other people and they give to you. And the ones that are true friends have the most marbles in their jars, right? The ones that don't only have a few marbles in their jars, so, you can kind of guess, kind of think mentally of how many marbles would that person have in their jar?
Mm.
And then, when they betray you, basically all their marbles empty out, right? Um, yeah. it it made me realize that there's so many things that we do to pay attention to people, to um, to do things like include somebody who is a new person.
Hmm.
Like specifically, I think of myself at a dance, right? You get all these new people that come to a dance and they're just kind of like wide-eyed looking at everyone dancing, and they have no idea how to ask for anybody to dance or whatever.
Right,
And especially women are not encouraged to ask guys to dance.
right.
That's not socially acceptable from certain periods.
Hmm.
And so they don't ask. They just kind of sit there and watch and wait for somebody to go and ask them. And that little simple thing of just going, "Hi, how are you?"
So easy.
including them
Yeah,
and seeing how they open up, and then seeing how their smile and them having been on the dance floor, all these other guys start noticing them, is rather interesting.
yeah.
I've been playing around with that, but it's that social, it's that inclusion piece,
Yes.
right?
Inclusion. We need to
And
do one on inclusion.
yeah, and I
Mhm.
think that's really a gift you can give to people, right? It's adding a marble into
To the
their
gym.
glass,
Yeah,
and then they can start receiving,
yeah.
like our compliments, right? They can start receiving compliments. They can start receiving people asking them to dance, and
Mm,
they get that instead of the worried look or the grumpy look. They get the smile on their face because they did dance,
right.
and then other people can approach them and ask them as well.
This will be a great episode to harken back to, like in grade school, the kid who sat alone at lunchtime.
Right.
Were you ever that
Yes,
kid?
yes, 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 yes. Oh,
You
oh,
were.
totally. No,
Okay.
my first grade teacher ostracized me
The teacher
because,
did. Jeez.
well, she basically set the tone, right? What she did is if I asked any kind of question, she would send me out into the hall because I was interrupting class. Um, and so I spent most of my first grade in conventional school. Most of my first grade class, I was basically in the hallway, not learning because my
Because you were
teacher
trying to
didn't
learn.
like me. Yeah, right. And then not only
Wow.
that, I would also miss recess because that was another punishment that you could add on to that, right?
Oh my gosh. It was
So
sick.
I was
That's sick.
I was the kid that was like nobody wanted to talk to me because I was the one that was trouble.
Trouble all the
And
time.
if they ended up talking to me, then they'd be in trouble too, right?
Wow. What a
And
setup.
yeah, so I mean,
So you're
she
coming
totally
from,
set me up to fail on that whole thing. It was just like,
oh,
yeah,
we need to talk about that. So you come from crazy house and then a teacher set you up like, when I hear
yeah,
things about teachers, I'm just like,
yeah,
I busted my ass to be exactly opposite from that. It just makes me
right.
sick to think that people are like that. And when I was at yesterday,
Hmm.
there was a black woman
Hmm.
who came in and sat down by herself on a table, and I had like gotten up to get something to eat, and turned around, walked back, and there's
Hmm. Yeah.
a few little clusters of people sitting at tables or talking, whatever, and I pick up a gluten-free muffin, woo,
Hmm.
and I turn around and I see her, and I was like, "Yep,
Hmm.
beeline."
Yeah. Yes.
So
Right.
I go over like, "Is it okay if I sit here?" She's
Hmm.
like, "Yeah." She's kind of half on her phone and kind of shyly talking to me for a minute, and
Yeah.
I said, "You look like the kind of person who might be kind enough to tell me if I have chocolate in my teeth after I eat this muffin." And she
Yes.
laughed so hard. And it was like right there, Oh,
Yes.
hi.
Right. Yes.
Hi, I'm Juliana. I am a
Right.
4-year-old and I'm getting after it. But, otherwise, no, white people were just like,
Right.
I don't
Right.
know how to talk
Yeah.
to that woman,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it just the other day, just yesterday, it happened right there. The
Yeah.
person sitting alone. They're like,
Right.
mm-mm, I'm a teacher. I don't do this.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it's yeah,
Okay, that's a new episode.
yeah. Oh, definitely. I like that one.
Are you still ostracizing the kid in second grade at lunch? Are you still the one that eats alone in the cafeteria? Let's
Right?
talk.